So today we're going to be talking about multiplying by one-digit numbers. And you can solve, so we're going to look at this first problem together. Make sure your whiteboards are ready because we are going to be working some of these problems out with our dry erase markers on our whiteboards. You guys are pretty good already at your basic multiplication facts, 1 through 12. But we can problem solve by multiplying numbers by a one-digit number. So it says that we can either solve this problem by adding or by multiplying. Sometimes when you multiply, it makes things go a little bit quicker. Do y'all agree? Yes. Instead of adding over and over and over the same number, you can multiply it. Just the other day, my son, who's in kindergarten, was saying, "Mom, do you know how many 8 tens are?" And I said, "Yeah, 80. I said, "How many are 9 tens?" He said 90 without even hesitating. He's in kindergarten. He understands the concept of repeated addition already. Tens are easy, I know, okay, but for a 5-year-old, he understands the concept. We talked about that repeated or adding over and over, putting groups together is kind of like multiplication. Maybe a word that he hasn't heard yet. Okay, so you guys, I know, probably prefer multiplying over adding the same number over and over and over. So if we're looking at this problem here, it says a ticket to the basketball game cost $24. How much would 3 tickets cost? Instead of adding 24 plus 24 plus 24, which would give me an answer, I can do that. I can add that 3 times. But I could also take that same number and instead of adding it 3 times, just multiply it times 3. I'm going to get the same thing. Okay, so if you are sitting at tables 4 or right here in the middle at 3, I want you to add 24 plus 24 plus 24. If you're over here at 1 and 2, I want you to do 24 times 3. And then hold up your answers. You got to work it out. If you are at 3 or 4, you are adding 3 24s together. If you are at 1 or 2, you are multiplying 24 times 3. Hold up your boards when you got it. If you're at home, you can pause and then compare when you're ready. Okay, so when I looked across the room at groups 1 and 2 who were multiplying, this is what I saw. And I saw that you carried the 1 and you got 72. Awesome. Okay, if you were at one of the groups who was doing the repeated addition, you did 4 plus 4 plus 4, which is 12, carried your 1, and got 72 here. So if I'm multiplying something by a single digit, a one-digit number, does it matter how I solve it? No. It doesn't really matter because I have the same number. Okay, both of my answers tell me that 3 tickets are going to cost $72. But if I have something that I'm multiplying maybe by 9, would it be quicker to multiply by 9 rather than add a number 9 times? Yeah. For sure. Okay, let's look at another problem. This time it says solve the following problem by multiplying. Okay, so no repeated addition this time. 6 different times next month, a salesperson must make a 325-mile round trip. How many total miles will the salesperson travel next month? So I'm looking for total miles. And we know that 6 different times that person will make a 325-mile round trip. So what am I multiplying together?
325 and 6.
325 and 6. So we take our 6 times 5, which is 30. And then 6 times 2 is 12 plus the 3 that I carried.
15.
So 15, carry my 1. And then I take the 6 and I'm going to multiply it times the 3, which is 18 plus the 1 that I carried, 19. So how many total miles will the salesperson travel next month?
1,950 miles.
Very good. Awesome. Bruh. Okay, here's another one. This time, it's wanting you to use dimes and pennies to illustrate 3 times, what does that say? 14 cents. Okay, so on your whiteboards, I want you to illustrate using dimes and pennies. 3 times 14 cents. Okay, some of you, when you were drawing this out, you had this on your whiteboard, starting out. That's a great start. Yes, you needed to have that because that is showing 14 cents. But if I'm doing times 3 right here, I need to have 3 of those total. So another dime and then 4 more pennies. Okay. So I know we're not looking for the next like artist in here. I'm not expecting you to be able to draw this necessarily, but I do think that you guys are capable of drawing this. So after you illustrate that, you should have 3 groups. Here is group 1. Here is group 2, and here is group 3. And when I have things grouped like that, that is multiplication. I've got 14 cents in each of my groups. Why are dimes and pennies a good model for multiplying cents? Why do you think?
Because tens and ones are easy to multiply.
Tens and ones are very easy to multiply. They're easy numbers. Okay. Somebody have a different reason why? Another?
Because if you just add 10 and 1, it's 11, and 11s are also easy to work with.
Okay, and then you can just add the rest. Okay. Awesome. Okay, here's one last problem before we do our assignment for today. It says solve the following problem by multiplying. I'm not going to guide you. I'm going to let you try and solve this on your own on your whiteboard. If you are at home, press pause and then check your work. Okay, so I saw a lot of different ways to solve this problem. I saw some people that did this. Uh-oh, I don't want that. I saw some with this. Okay, this is one way. I know that 25 times 4 is $1. 25 times 2 is 50 cents. Boom, $1.50. Okay. I saw most of you with this. And then you realized I got to make sure that I put my decimal here because I'm multiplying 25 cents, not 25 wholes. Okay, if you ended up with $150, I asked you guys, is that reasonable? Make sure your answer is reasonable. And y'all realized, oh yeah, $150 doesn't make sense if I only have 6 pens and they're 25 cents each. So your answer should be $1.50. Perfect. You guys did awesome. Okay, that's our lesson for today. So your assignment is lesson 17, which begins on page 118. Please make sure that on numbers 3 and 4, you write an addition or a subtraction equation before you solve it. If you don't have your equation, it will not be counted correct. Please double check.